Right now, there's a sugar glider in Australia that just peed on its own hands, on purpose. And it's about to rub that pee all over its body like it's expensive perfume. But that's not even the weirdest thing about these creatures. See, when most people think of sugar gliders, they picture those cute, big-eyed pets that fit in your pocket. Adorable little flying squirrels that glide around looking innocent, right? Wrong. What if I told you that sugar gliders are actually tiny vampires that drink blood? That they can turn their heads almost completely backwards like something out of a horror movie? And that they have a secret weapon so disturbing it would make a medieval torture device look friendly? I've spent weeks digging into the science behind these creatures, and what I discovered will completely shatter everything you thought you knew about sugar gliders. In fact, some of these facts are so shocking that researchers didn't believe them at first. And the number one fact on this list? It's so disturbing that most pet stores won't even tell you about it. So buckle up, because we're counting down the 10 most shocking facts about sugar gliders, starting with number 10. And trust me, each one gets more mind-blowing than the last. They're living parachutes with superpowers. Picture this. You're a sugar glider sitting 150 feet up in a tree. That's like being on the 15th floor of a building. You spot some food way across the forest, but there's no way to get there. Or is there? Here's where it gets crazy. Sugar gliders don't just glide. They're basically flying squirrels on steroids. They spread out a flap of skin that stretches from their wrists to their ankles, turning themselves into a living parachute. But unlike a regular parachute, they can actually steer. Scientists discovered that sugar gliders can glide up to the length of a football field in a single jump. That's 150 feet of controlled flight from a creature that weighs less than a baseball. They use their flat, bushy tail like a rudder on a boat, making sharp turns and precise landings that would make a fighter pilot jealous. But here's the really shocking part. They can do this in complete darkness. Sugar gliders navigate through dense forest at night like they have built-in GPS. And if you think their flying skills are impressive, wait until you hear about the creepy way they communicate. They speak in horror movie sounds. Imagine you're camping in the Australian wilderness when suddenly you hear what sounds like a chainsaw mixed with a dying cat echoing through the trees. Your first thought? Run. But actually, you just heard sugar gliders having a normal conversation. These cute little creatures make some of the most terrifying sounds in the animal kingdom. They bark like angry dogs, hiss like snakes, and make a sound called crabbing that literally sounds like something from a nightmare. But here's what's really wild. Each sound means something completely different. When they bark, they're basically saying, "Hey, I'm over here." When they hiss, it's more like, "Back off, buddy." And that horrifying crabbing sound, that's what they do when they're scared or annoyed. Scientists have recorded over a dozen different vocalizations sugar gliders make, and some are so loud they can be heard from over half a mile away. Imagine having neighbors that scream at each other from that distance every single night. That might be creepy, but it's nothing compared to what we have next on our list. They're tiny vampires. Here's something that'll blow your mind. Sugar gliders don't just eat sugar. They're actually tiny vampires that drink blood. Picture this nightmare scenario. A sugar glider finds a bird's nest at night. You'd expect it to just grab an egg and leave, right? Hell no. Instead, it does something far darker. With its sharp little teeth, it makes tiny cuts on the baby bird's body and then drinks the blood without killing them. It sounds unbelievable, but it's real. Sugar gliders can act like tiny vampires of the forest. Scientists studying their diet were shocked to discover that blood makes up a significant portion of what wild sugar gliders consume. They're not just opportunistic about it either. They actively seek out bleeding animals and fresh wounds to drink blood from, like Dracula. And here's the really creepy part. Their saliva contains anticoagulants, which means when they bite something, the wound keeps bleeding longer. But if drinking blood sounds disturbing, wait until you hear about their bathroom habits. They use pee as perfume. Remember that sugar glider I mentioned at the beginning who peed on its hands? Well, that wasn't an accident. I actually meant it. Sugar gliders regularly urinate on their own hands and feet, then rub it all over their bodies like they're applying expensive cologne. And they don't just do this occasionally. It's a daily ritual that they take very seriously. But here's the shocking part. This isn't just gross behavior, it's actually genius. Their urine contains special chemicals that work like a personal ID card. When other sugar gliders smell it, they can tell exactly who that glider is, how old they are, whether they're healthy, and if they're ready to mate. It's like having a social media profile written in pee. Every time they meet another sugar glider, they're basically reading each other's urine-based biography. Scientists even discovered that sugar gliders can recognize family members, friends, and enemies just by smelling the pee perfume they've rubbed on themselves. It's the world's most disgusting social network, and it actually works better than most dating apps. But if you think using pee as perfume is weird, next on our list reveals something even more disturbing about their social lives. They're emotional manipulators. Sugar gliders are basically the master manipulators of the animal kingdom, and they use psychological warfare that would make a con artist jealous. Here's how it works. When a sugar glider wants something from another sugar glider, it doesn't just ask nicely. Instead, it starts making pitiful crying sounds that are specifically designed to trigger sympathy. But it gets more twisted. Scientists discovered that sugar gliders can fake being injured or distressed to get attention and resources from their family members. They'll limp around, make sad noises, and act helpless until other sugar gliders come to help them. The really shocking part? They teach this behavior to their babies. Young sugar gliders learn how to manipulate emotions before they even learn how to glide properly. It's like having a masterclass in psychological manipulation built into their DNA. And here's the kicker. It works on humans too. Those big, sad eyes and pitiful sounds that make people want to adopt them as pets. That's not innocence. That's millions of years of evolution, perfecting the art of emotional manipulation. Them being emotional manipulators might be shocking, but it's nothing compared to the next point. They have built-in torture devices. Sugar gliders have a secret weapon that sounds like it belongs in a torture chamber. Their claws. They're not just sharp, they curve like tiny hooks, made to dig in and hold on tight to anything they grab. Picture this. You're a bird sleeping peacefully on a branch when suddenly razor-sharp claws sink into your back. But here's the terrifying part. These claws are curved backwards, which means once they're in, they don't come out easily. Scientists studying sugar glider anatomy discovered that their claws work like fishhooks. The curved design means the harder their prey struggles, the deeper the claws dig into their body. But it gets worse. Sugar gliders use these hook claws to hang upside down from branches while they eat their prey alive. Imagine being caught by something that can literally hang you upside down while it slowly consumes you. And here's the really disturbing part. They keep their claws razor sharp by constantly scratching them against tree bark, like a serial killer sharpening their knives. The most shocking thing? These same claws that work like torture devices also help them be gentle with their babies. The hook shape helps them grip their babies safely, keeping them from ever slipping or falling. It's like having two opposite personalities built into the same body. But if hook claws sound terrifying, number 4 reveals something that'll make you never look at sugar gliders the same way. They're cannibals. Here's a fact that'll make your stomach turn. Sugar gliders regularly eat other sugar gliders, and they're not sorry about it. When resources get scarce, sugar gliders don't just compete for food, they turn each other into food. Scientists have documented cases where sugar gliders kill and eat members of their own family, including their own babies. But here's what makes it even more disturbing. They don't do this out of desperation. Sometimes, perfectly healthy sugar gliders with plenty of food will still choose to eat their weaker family members. The really shocking part? They're strategic about it. Sugar gliders will target the sick, the old, and the young first. They're basically running their own version of survival of the fittest, where the losers become dinner. And get this, they don't even wait for their victims to die. Scientists have observed sugar gliders eating other sugar gliders while they're still alive, starting with the least vital parts, the tail, and working their way up. It's like having a family dinner, where you might literally become the main course if your family is having a bad day. But if cannibalism sounds horrific, wait until you hear about their reproductive nightmare. Their mating ritual is a horror show. Sugar glider reproduction isn't just weird, it's like something out of a science fiction nightmare. Here's how it works. Female sugar gliders don't just have one reproductive system, they have two. 2 wombs, 2 birth canals, 2 of everything. It's like nature couldn't pick a design, so it slapped on a backup set just in case. But it gets more disturbing. Males have a forked organ that perfectly matches the female's double system. A forked organ is like snake tongue, which is like 2 in 1, or like your charger, which is perfectly made to go with the switch on the wall. It's not just unusual, it's built that way to perfectly match the female organ during mating. Imagine trying to explain that to someone who's never heard of sugar gliders. And here's where it gets really twisted. Sugar gliders can be pregnant with 2 completely different litters at the same time. One baby could be weeks older than its sibling, even though they're both inside the same mother. But the most shocking part? A sugar glider's baby is born after just 16 days. But they're not really fully babies yet. They're more like a tiny undeveloped aliens with no proper arms or legs yet. It's way too small to survive on its own, so it has to crawl into the mother's pouch. The pouch is like a built-in pocket on the mother's stomach. Think of it like a hoodie pocket, but made of skin. The opening is on the outside, and inside it's warm and safe. It's like nature decided that normal pregnancy wasn't complicated enough, so it created a system that's part mammal, part science experiment. But if their reproduction sounds like a nightmare, number 2 will make you question the laws of physics. They defy gravity. Sugar gliders don't just climb trees, they completely ignore the rules of physics while doing it. Picture this. You're watching a sugar glider run up a tree trunk when suddenly it flips upside down and keeps running at full speed. Not climbing, running, like gravity just stopped working. Scientists studying their movement discovered that sugar gliders can rotate their ankle joints 180 degrees. That means they can literally turn their feet completely backwards and run down a tree trunk headfirst at full speed. But here's what's really mind-blowing. They can do this while carrying food in their mouths, babies on their backs, and still make sharp turns around branches. The physics of what they're doing shouldn't be possible. Their grip strength is so incredible that they can hang from a single claw while supporting their entire body weight. And get this, They can jump between trees while upside down. But all of this facts we've mentioned so far is nothing compared to the last. They're living time machines. Here's the most shocking fact about sugar gliders. They're basically living fossils that have traveled through time to haunt our modern world. What do I mean? Sugar gliders have stayed the same for over 15 million years. While other animals were changing, adapting, and becoming stronger to survive, sugar gliders just didn't. It's almost like they pressed pause on evolution. But here's what makes this truly mind-blowing. They've survived multiple mass extinctions like ice ages and continental shifts without changing a single thing about themselves. Dinosaurs came and went, entire species evolved and disappeared, and sugar gliders just kept doing their creepy vampire gliding thing like nothing happened. Scientists studying their DNA discovered that modern sugar gliders are essentially identical to their ancient ancestors. It's like finding a living little dinosaur in your backyard, except this dinosaur drinks blood, uses pee as perfume, and can turn its feet backwards. While humans were evolving bigger brains and using their hands to build tools, sugar gliders perfected their design 15 million years ago and decided they were done. They're basically nature's way of saying, why fix what isn't broken? So the next time someone tells you sugar gliders are just cute, harmless pets, you'll know the truth. These aren't adorable flying teddy bears. They're ancient, blood-drinking, gravity-defying time travelers with built-in torture devices and a taste for their own family members. Makes you wonder what other cute animals are hiding secrets that would give us nightmares, doesn't it? Thank you for watching till end. Please subscribe to our channel and maybe leave a like too. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.